Clash at the Castle. We're going to run through all these matches. We're going to give you our predictions, and then we're going to rapid fire our predictions at the end. Go through them one more time. Let's start at the top, man. Don't know what the main event of this show is going to be. I'm going to call this the main event. It might not be, but it's for the undisputed WWE Championship in an I Quit match. Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles mixing it up one more time. You were a little skeptical last week about the speech and the Mark Henry ripoff and what have you. Now we have added an I Quit stipulation. Have your feelings changed? What do you think?
I mean, I'm excited for it. I think when's the last time we had an I Quit match in WWE? It's been like 2 years.
Edge and Finn Balor. When they beat up Beth.
Yeah. So it's been a hot minute since we've had one. Yep. I'm excited for the match. I think the match itself is going to be great. Cody Rhodes did the one thing you're not supposed to do, which is say, I quit before the show, because now that could always come back into play, which...
Mick Foley.
I think there's a possibility that could be the case. That could happen, and then Nick Cole just restarts it, and then we keep going.
Okay, fun.
Because I think they're going to involve Nick Aldis a lot more with Cody's storylines for... I hope so, at least for personal reasons, just so we get that match at some point down the line.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm more excited for it now than I was, because you can't just keep doing like singles matches,
of course,
of the same singles match over and over and over again. However, it does feel like we went from Gear Shift 1 to Gear Shift 5 really, really quickly, to where I think this is the last one. Like, I don't think we do another one after this.
Yeah, I don't either. I definitely don't either. I actually don't like this stipulation.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the stipulation match between these two. I don't like that it's I Quit. And the reason is because I understand with the retirement speech and Cody saying, oh, I'm going to make you say what you should have said last week, blah, blah, whatever. I get that. But the I Quit coming from either of these characters, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Because Cody's not going to say it.
Mm-mm.
We know that. AJ, for as much as he said, I have to have this shot, his character is, you don't want none and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see him saying it either. As we keep saying about AJ, if he says I quit, where does that leave him? Like, I get that he's a heel, so it's okay, but where does that leave him?
And he could show up in the Battle Royal on Tuesday on NXT.
That's true.
But even then, like, I don't want that for AJ.
No.
I don't know. It's a very weird stipulation. I mean, it's storyline-wise, it makes sense. But I don't like it for either character, because it's not going to happen. It shouldn't happen for either one. I think, honestly, like, this is where you could have done not a gauntlet match, an Iron Man match. Or, like, him saying, like, you want one more shot, you want to prove you're still the best in the world. Let's see you go 45 minutes or even an hour or whatever the case is.
Last man standing.
Last man standing, I think you could do.
That would have made more sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for the match. I think they're going to do some crazy stuff. I actually think this one probably kicks off the show.
Okay.
I think it either kicks off the show or the main events.
Right. It's got to be one.
It's got to be one or the other.
Yep.
I don't know where AJ goes after here, which makes me very unsettled. And then I guess, like, we're possibly setting up Cody Randy for SummerSlam, but even then, like, that's not a for sure. So I don't really know where Cody goes after this.
I think you could have a 6-man tag. You could have AJ, Anderson, and Gallows versus Cody, Randy, and fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And
KO.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. You could have that at Money in the Bank.
Oh, yeah, we saw Money in the Bank in between this show and SummerSlam.
And then that's how you get to Cody, Randy. So maybe not Randy turning, but you start that friction.
Yeah. I could see that. I don't know. I don't know what's next for AJ, which is not great.
I know. That being said, your prediction for the match.
My prediction is Cody Rhodes walks out still champ. I think there might be some shenanigans. I think the Good Brothers are absolutely going to get involved.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody's going to get involved to help Cody. If that is, I don't know necessarily who that would be.
Randy and KO, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But KO doesn't make a lot of sense right now.
No. Ethan Page and Sean Spears. I don't know. But yeah, I think I honestly think at the end of it all, Cody walks out still champ.
I think it's as clean as it can be in an I Quit match, and Cody definitively wins.
Yeah.
I don't see any shenanigans. I think it's just clean.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know how it's going to end. I just know Cody's going to walk out.
Cody's going to be the champ.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Andy, if that match doesn't main event, like you said, this one's probably going to. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, World Heavyweight Championship, the hometown man gets his moment, maybe? We'll have to see. Judgment Day, of course, barred from ringside. Let me get your take on that. I thought the stipulation for the match was stupid.
Yeah.
Especially the way that it came about. Because Priest has been the one saying he doesn't need Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And even said it in the promo. And then he says, well, let's just have a match. And if you win, they can be barred from ring. It does. Am I wrong?
No, I think it was more to show even though he says he doesn't need them, he still needs them. And he kind of acknowledges that he needs them without acknowledging it. And so
I guess
it kind of just proves Drew's point even more.
It just didn't fit, man.
No, it didn't fit. I don't know what to expect from this one, to be completely honest with you. I could see Drew winning.
Yeah.
Are they really going to have Drew lose twice, basically in his home back-to-back years?
I don't know.
I think the only way he's not going to, if he loses, he's not going to lose clean.
Oh, there's no way.
The only way that people get behind it is if a certain Pepsi Phil comes back and costs them.
You know, it says Judgment Day is not barred from ringside.
Doesn't say CM Punk is barred from ringside.
It also doesn't say Carlito, because he's technically not a member of the Judgment Day.
That's true.
It also doesn't say Liv Morgan.
That's very true as well.
We just talked about how impactful that storyline was. It was weaved throughout the entire episode of Raw last week. So are you telling me they're going to have a pay-per-view to follow that up and not mention anything happen at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see, because part of me is like, I don't think Punk shows up at all.
Okay.
Or if he does, it's after
the match is over.
But even then, like, it would still make more sense for Punk to cost him because he did it at WrestleMania.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know what to expect.
Well, you better predict it, because it's time to predict this match. What do you think happens? I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll let you think about it for a minute. I've been a fan of Damian Priest's world title run. It's been better than we
anticipated.
Thought. Yeah. I mean, he's looked like a star. Yep. He's been presented as a star. I think it continues here. I think he beats Drew McIntyre in the main event, and I do think CM Punk shows up. And I think that he costs Drew, and that makes Drew even more, he's got to go. Yeah, unhinged. That's the word, yes. And then we just keep building to that SummerSlam match. That doesn't need the world title.
Right. Here's my question.
Okay.
What's the bigger SummerSlam match? This is an honest question.
Yep, I know.
Is it Drew and Punk, or is it Drew and Gunther?
It's Drew and Punk.
I agree.
Because even though Gunther's going to win,
we've seen it.
Even though he's probably going to win the world title,
yep,
that's not the money match for Gunther. The money match is the next month at the Berlin show when he walks in as champion against whoever that is. That's the money match. Yeah. That'll be the main event. Unfortunately, I think for that SummerSlam, that match is going to get buried somewhere in the card.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to feel as big.
That's true. That's very true. I think, gosh, I don't know though. My heart wants to see Drew with the title.
Of course. Yes. Mine does too.
Because who does Priest face after this? Because the first thing that kind of popped up that'd be very interesting is if we did Sheamus and Priest. And Sheamus won, and we do Sheamus Gunther at SummerSlam because of the whole Ludwig Kaiser callback thing.
Sure.
Do Sheamus Gunther at SummerSlam.
Okay.
I think we're still probably heading to Priest Gunther.
Yep.
But at that's heel versus heel, which I know is not as big of a deal anymore as it used to be, but still it's kind of. I think Gunther would be the babyface in that one.
It depends on where this Judgment Day thing goes. We just sit here and say that they're trying to turn Priest.
they might be trying to turn Priest, but Priest in a match with Gunther, people are still going to be more behind Gunther than they are Priest. So that's the kind of mix up there.
Yep.
I think, though, at the end of the day, I think when it's all said and done, Damian Priest is walking out still champion. I don't think he gets pinned. I don't think he pins Drew.
Oh, okay. So
I think we get some kind of shenanigan,
lots of it,
schmaz finish. I want to see JD McDonough be the Austin Theory this year and get knocked out by the Gypsy King. And then Joe Hendry comes out to make the save. Everybody's run the Judgment Day off or whoever. Punk comes in and cost him. I could see that happening.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, Drew McIntyre is the hometown guy. We'll have to see if he gets it done for the World Heavyweight Championship. But I'll tell you what, there's competition for the biggest pop of the night because Piper Niven going up against Bayley for the Women's Championship. Oh, man. I don't know.
Is every hometown person going to lose?
You know, I don't know. Because I know Bayley versus Nia Jax would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't think Piper Niven versus Nia Jax.
Piper versus Nia would be interesting.
Now, I know we're in the era of long title reigns, storytelling, Triple H, blah, blah, blah. I could see this being a spot where they flip the title just for the pop, and then at Money in the Bank, Bayley gets it back. And then we go Bayley, Nia Jax.
Here's the thing about Bayley is Bayley in international crowds is loved.
So, therefore, you can't go wrong with having her lose.
I don't think you can go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong with having her win either.
Well, yeah, but it's Piper Niven.
See, I think if any hometown person's going to win, it's going to be Alba Fire and Ilsa Dawn.
Well, we're getting there.
But I don't know. This one's going to be interesting. I love the fact that they're putting Bayley against the monsters of the division to kind of let her go through them to like establish herself. So when the biggest monster of them all, Charlotte, comes back, she can kind of wrestle her and go through that. Because that's probably SummerSlam.
You think we're that? I think we're ready for that. Is she back by then?
Probably. She's like Cena. She's probably going to be back by then. Who knows?
That's true. It's a good point.
But I mean, I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. Yeah. Charlotte and Bayley for the title.
No, because that's got to be Nia. Remember, because Nia won Queen of the Ring, so that's got to be SummerSlam.
So whatever's after SummerSlam.
Bash in Berlin.
Yeah. See, I think Bayley probably holds the title for a while. I think if anybody's going to lose their title early, it's going to be Priest, not Bayley.
Okay. All right.
So I'm sticking with Bayley for this one.
You're going prediction Bayley. I'm going we see a new champ. I think Piper Niven she gets a rub just for a minute. And I think she drops the title back at Money in the Bank.
See, you know what'd be great is if she won it and then handed it to Chelsea.
That's what I want. So what we have, I mean, Chelsea's going to lay claim to it anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have the celebration on Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then she just hands it to Chelsea.
Oh, no, I would do it. I would do it at Clash.
Oh, that would be amazing.
And we have a big like celebration on SmackDown.
That would be amazing. Bring
in Cardona. Like let even Cardona be there to like knight her or whatever the case is.
You are
go
speaking my language. Let's go.
And then Bayley just kills her.
Probably, but it's okay. That would
or Nia just kills her, one of the two.
That would be incredible. All right, let's talk about the ones you mentioned, the other hometowns. Man, we are just competing for the biggest pop of the night. This one is a triple threat for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, as well as Alba Fire and Isla Dawn or Ilsa Dawn or whatever it is. I don't know. Regardless of how you pronounce their name, I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm predicting them to come out champs. I think this is a good situation for Jade and Bianca to not get pinned, and they drop the belts. And if we're getting there at SummerSlam, if that's
we do it at SummerSlam?
I think we do it at SummerSlam. Yep. Because I still think we're somehow heading to Jade Charlotte at Mania and Rhea Bianca at Mania. So I think you go ahead and do this one at SummerSlam.
I don't hate that. I mean, I'm for that. You really want to put the two people that curse the titles back on? Give them the titles back?
Sure.
I think that'd be. They never did anything with that story, which that was very interesting. Right. That whole storyline. I think if we see the titles change hands at all in this show, it's either going to happen in the world title or this match, and I'm leaning more this match. I think this happens at Money in the Bank, though, to keep Jade and Bianca out of the Money in the Bank match.
Okay. I see that.
I think because I'll be real honest with you, I don't think Alba and Dawn are going to get the biggest pop of that
No, probably
match.
not.
I think Jay's going to get the biggest pop of the match.
Of course.
Coming out. So I think they ride that wave until we get to Money in the Bank. And then you can have, I don't know, Candace and...
See, that's my point, though. I would love for Candace and Indy to take the belts from them. I really would. But this is an established tag team.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the only, not two singles that are put together.
The only one
team.
I could see that they've kind of been teasing a little bit on SmackDown is Nia and Tiffany.
Okay.
I could see those. I could see them going after it.
Could deal with that. That would be fun at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but then Nia's got she could go in as champ. She go into SummerSlam already as a champion, trying to be two belts.
Then you take Tiffany out of Money in the Bank, and I don't think that's.
I don't think you necessarily have to do that.
Okay.
I think she could pull WWE.
Okay.
I honestly think she is going to be Miss Money in the Bank.
Oh, she absolutely.
And I think it would be really interesting for her to be Miss Money in the Bank, and also be tag champs with the current champ at the same time.
That would be interesting.
Because that's the only way you can make it really work with two heels.
That's true.
So I think that would be very fascinating if we could get to that point at somehow.
Right. So your prediction is?
Jade and Bianca walk out still champs.
I'm going new champs, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. I think it's time. I think I've been itching for them to be champs for some reason, not because they curse tiles or whatever, but I think this is the spot to do it. It makes the most sense. All right, another championship match. Holy cow, that's all 5 matches are championship matches.
I like it. Makes it
on
feel
the
important.
show. It's huge. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, Intercontinental Championship. Lots of different ways you can go with this one, man. We've said it, in the era of long title reigns. Sami Zayn's had it since WrestleMania. What do we see here? Especially with the contract status of Chad Gable still up in the air. Is it? Is it not? I don't know.
I think this... Do I want to say this? I will say this. I was right at WrestleMania, so I'll say it. This is my lock of the night.
Oh, here we go. Andy's lock of the night.
My lock of the night is...
Lock it up.
Mid-match, we see Maxine walk out on Chad Gable.
Okay.
We see Tozawa walk out on Chad Gable.
Okay.
We see Otis walk out on Chad Gable.
Okay.
And he's all by himself. He eats a haluva kick.
Yep.
And the Creed brothers come out, distract Sami Zayn, and Chad Gable, alongside the Creed brothers, is your new Intercontinental Champion.
That is a fun prediction. I like that.
That's my lock of the night.
And you know what it leads to? SummerSlam.
Yep.
Chad Gable versus Otis.
Yep.
And Otis winning the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam.
No, I don't think it leads to that. I think it leads to the match. I don't think it leads to Otis winning.
You don't think that when we get to Chad Gable versus Otis is winning?
Nope. I think Chad Gable's winning.
Oh, no.
I think Chad Gable is winning.
No.
And I don't know. I think it's past time for Chad to have won this title.
I agree with that.
And I don't want him to win it just to lose it.
I agree.
And I feel like Otis could lose to Chad Gable. It's not. It'll advance the Chad Gable Kurt Angle heel trajectory even further.
All right. So I'm with you on the point that maybe Otis doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship, but he does need to beat Chad Gable. So if that means don't put the Intercontinental title on Chad Gable, then I'm okay with that because Otis is winning that match. He has to.
Does he?
Yes.
I don't think he does.
The people are so behind it.
They are so behind him.
Match.
But they were so behind Sammy against Roman, and he didn't have to win that one.
But if Otis is ever going to be anything, I can't remember I'm saying this, anything more than a comic character on the show.
Yeah.
And they want him to be taken seriously, like as a wrestler, and they're ever going to insert him back into something, he's got to beat Chad Gable.
And I don't think that's what they want.
Okay.
I think he is. Listen, I'm not. It's nothing against him. I love Otis. I am a massive Otis fan. I was an Otis fan back in the pandemic. I was probably the only person happy when he won Money in the Bank. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
I think you
and
were.
During the pandemic, you know what? Why not have Otis win Money in the Bank? What's it going to hurt? I love Otis. I don't think he's ever going to be a mid-card main event level guy.
Okay.
And so I think
don't either, but
I think this is time. Like, what's more what's better in the long run? Otis beating Chad Gable for the feel-good story, or Chad Gable beating Otis clean as Intercontinental Champion, setting him up as this, like, even the biggest guy on the roster, one of the biggest guys on the roster, couldn't beat him, and so that sets him down the path even more.
I still think Otis needs to beat him.
I don't think so. I think Otis needs to get revenge somehow. I don't think he has to beat him.
All right. So your prediction for this match is?
Chad Gable is your new Intercontinental Champion.
I agree with that. I think Chad Gable walks out Intercontinental Champion.
You've got 3 title changes.
I do have 3 title changes. I do have 3. All right.
Feeling lucky.
A loaded Clash at the Castle. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. If you're on our YouTube channel, again, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to us. We would appreciate it very much. Viewership is ticking up. Our last pay-per-view preview, King of the Ring, is our most watched show on our YouTube channel. How about we top it with this one? Let's get this one over 1,000 views. We would appreciate that very much. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and go check out all the other episodes on our YouTube channel. We got playlists to separate everything. We've got trivia, we got interviews, the whole 9 yards. Go check it out. We would appreciate it very much.